Aren't you glad I persuaded you?
To
have dinner?
Oh, yes, I'm glad.
Well, what do you think now?
I think you're absolutely fascinating.
Oh? I've known that myself for years.
I could tell that, too. He is fascinating. If you like medieval male chauvinists. So, we are going to do a day in the life of Saxon Wells, publisher. All right?
Right.
Now, you know his magazine, Catwalk?
I take it. Oh, for the politics.
Well, you'll know the line then. Keep the woman a fluffy little thing in the kitchen, bedroom, and nursery. Go get him. Catwalk? I'll check it.
Yes, they're fine, Cornelia. But why?
Why what?
Well, why does my best model suddenly want to become a photographer?
Because your best model is rapidly approaching 30 and doesn't want to end up modeling twin sets and knitting magazines.
Oh, come on. That's a long way off.
And before that happens, I want to get a new career. Is that so unreasonable?
No, but it's...
Right. Check your makeup, ladies. We're all going to be film stars.
Well, he's been acting like one for years.
And which film star are you going to be, Saxon? Theda Bara?
Theda Bara? You mean it's true, Paula? You were a Gibson girl. 2 more for coffee, Jenkins. I wined and dined Kate Mackenzie last night. She's going to do a television documentary on us. How's that for publicity? All right, Cassandra, what's the problem?
2 problems, Saxon. 1, I have enough to do editing the magazine without being interrupted by film people.
Ah, touch, Paula.
And 2, I have known Kate Mackenzie
Since Theda Bara was a walk-on, we know.
since she was on newspaper. She's a very tough lady. Still, she's had to be to make the job at her age.
Tough? She was all silk and satin and bedroom eyes.
Leopards wear leopard skin knickers, but it doesn't stop them from being killers.
Ah, touch again, Paula. Had her eating out of the palm of my hand.
He gets thrown out of so many restaurants for that.
Catwalk?
Ah, Kate's people? Mr. Wilson?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was expecting a Mr. Rock Wilson. You're not him.
No. She is.
You mean that your name is Rock Wilson?
Yes.
Rock as in Hudson?
As in Gibraltar.
As in Marciana. She throws a mean right hook. I'm Jim Griffin, a Rock's cameraman.
Oh, Saxon Wells, I own Catwalk. Miss Paula Healy, who edits the magazine. Cornelia Hayson, model and fashion coordinator. And that's Jenkins. Jenkins, take a bow. He's my butler. Hey, yes, but don't draw attention to him.
I thought Kate Mackenzie was...
Kate's the producer. If she arrives, you'll know I've fouled it up.
Right then, where do we start?
Oh, depends. Where did you
Huh?
start?
Oh, well, the magazine starts right here at this very desk. We have a conference, and I say we have 14 pages of fashion color this issue, so we'll break it into an 8 and 3 twos.
Sorry, I want this on film, Jim.
At this point, we decide upon the theme for the month. Something like deaths and entrances, gambling, or something. But we never do anything that's appropriate to the season. Although sometimes we might do Easter eggs in September, simply suggested to Jenkins, who likes that sort of thing. Then Miss Paula Healy rings up people for articles written around the theme.
A week and a half later, we know what's in the magazine.
At this point, we, in theory, start shooting the fashion shots. That's where Cornelia comes in. I look at the shots and say, they're terrible. They do them again. And when they've got them right, the art director then says, I see the whole issue in mauve and puce and contrasting shades of orange. Then the advertising man says, oh, look, this is a quiet time for us. Meaning the quiet time in advertising is that period between January and December each year. By this time, half the articles and pictures are in, and the rest of the magazine is made up of excuses. So we say,
I'll write it myself.
The art director then puts it all together, weeping quietly that we've ruined his dreams, while Jenkins uses the computer typesetter and gets migraine. Paystuff manages somehow to reach my desk, and I reject it, out of hand. The art director works for the night, and we send the lot to our printers, who happens to Mr. Chung in Hong Kong. We get back our color proofs, and do they make us happy? No, which is what I write on them. Then Mr. Chung rings up from Hong Kong. Ah, Mr. Chung, Saxon Wells. Saxon Wells? What is wrong with colour? Copy late, vote early. Not my fault. To which I answer inscrutably, get it right. Then comes the magic day when the magazine arrives, and we all say, look, seriously, this is the best issue we've ever done.
He's fast on his feet, isn't he? Well, what's behind it all? Oh, it's a good variety act. But where's the man?
I was, thinking of getting round to that. Right, Jim?
Right.
And there's got to be a person in there somewhere. Where'd he start?
Start.
Oh.
Well, I emigrated from England, just me, my rucksack and Rolls Royce, and I sold the car to pay the first printer's bill.
But where did you start?
Come to lunch.
All right, why not? Jim, would you pick up some general shots of the office for cutaways? Well, where did he start?
They found him under a green carnation.
The Stork Club brought him. Jim, you know cameras.
You could say, yeah.
What am I doing wrong?
You don't need it. I thought you were a model.
I'm changing over.
To this?
You're not going to warn me off too, are you?
No. I've known some good cameramen, little birds. What do you know about it?
Nothing.
I'll give you the tour of the darkroom.
I'd like that. If you really mean the darkroom.
Yeah. I mean, you're serious?
Yes. Can you teach me developing and all that?
Sure. And I've got this watch that lights up in the dark.
Only the watch?
One story I heard is you're being paid to stay out of England.
That's one of my better lies.
Another one says you came from a back street in Scunthorpe.
Ah, last was awful. They say where there's muck, there's brass. Well, I'm telling you, where there's muck, there's muck. Actually, I have a strawberry mark on my left shoulder blade. It proves I'm of royal birth, but I was kidnapped by gypsies as a child. And so, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you all.
I can find out, you know.
Darling, it is all far too dark. What I've invented is, so much better.
He says he invented himself.
Rubbish. What have you been inventing yourself? Would you have invented Saxon Wells?
Only if I was Saxon Wells.
Precisely. Any ideas, Jim?
I don't know where it fits in, but that model there, Cornelia, wants to turn photographer. They won't let her.
Oh, the usual male thing, can't do a man's job.
I think they like her better as a model.
Did you see her photographs? The one she took herself?
Yeah, quite good.
She'd know all about Saxon Wells. I wonder if she'd like the job.
Cornelia, you can't.
I can.
You cannot!
Watch me.
Right. And you know fashion, too.
Lived it.
And you want a job.
If it's using a camera, yes.
Paula, no one is indispensable.
Cornelia is very close to it.
She is replaceable. I can go into Pitt Street now and replace her.
She's the best model in town.
Then humor her. Let her take her tiny pictures. She's going through a phase, that's all. She'll be back here within a week.
Right. You're hired.
Thank you.
Now, your first assignment. Stills on the Saxon Wells documentary.
Ready?
I guess so.
Well, I never say I told you so, Paula.
But I told you so.
Welcome back.
Jim and Rock will be along presently. In the meantime, I have to take some stills.
She has to take some stills.
Naturally. Naturally, that's right. I want them candid.
Well, she would, wouldn't she?
Oh, yes, of course. Did Jenkins bring you about the gypsy sequence tomorrow at 2?
She was out.
Oh, well, Ricky Novak's taking the shots. If you could be here at 12 to try on the garments.
I'm sorry, I'm working.
What do you mean? You're my model.
I'm Kate McKenzie's photographer. I told you yesterday.
Don't talk bloody nonsense.
Very good. Did anybody ever tell you you're very beautiful when you're angry?
Stop that bloody clicking.
I'll need more light.
Oh, how nice to see you. Rock, I was wondering, can't you tell a lot more about someone by their lifestyle?
Maybe.
Let's go.
You don't think we should join them?
Do you want to?
No. What sort of a bloke is he?
After a week, you don't know?
No.
That's the sort of bloke he is. Why?
The Rock seems to be getting involved.
You getting proprietorial?
I don't own people.
No. No, I can see that.
I'm going to miss it.
What?
Oh, having you shadowing.
Well, that part's over. Filming's finished now.
What happened?
To what?
To the reporter who disemboweled the cabinet minister for me last month.
Hmm?
Oh, it's bland, Rock. It's a PR job. He made him so bloody nice I could puke.
Well, that's how it was.
Oh, lovey, come on. Now, where's the girl who slipped the knife into Mr. Nice Guy for me? Oh, we screen that. Don't put him up for Pope. Compared with that, Sir Francis of Assisi looks like the Marquis de Sade.
He's a nice guy.
Oh, he's a nice guy. I know him. He's an actor.
Kate, I only know what I saw.
Yeah, all right, lovey, forget it. Now, could you start pulling out background on that stockbroker man? And this time, could we forget the hearts and flowers and how he's kind to kids and dogs? This one's a simple swindler. Corny, would you stay, please? How'd he do it?
When he wants to be, he's a ball of charm.
Oh. So it finally got turned around.
Pardon?
Oh, well, charm's why the Rock's such a good reporter. She just looks at them with those baby blue eyes and they melt. You can tell her where the body's buried.
Well, Saxon's speciality is split the opposition and win.
Oh, I heard an echo in that. Are you and he,
We're just good friends.
unquote? He hasn't, you know.
What?
He split the opposition and won.
Ah,
A few more shots, Saxon.
and, where's the Rock? consumers. And they're going to consume whether Catwalk exists or not. This is not some fiendish plan to get women interested in clothes, cosmetics, and beauty. They are already. We don't have to sell that to them.
You don't print your magazine in Australia.
No, print in Hong Kong. So what?
You don't mind putting Australians out of work?
We are providing Australians with a better produced magazine at a lower price.
So you don't care about local industry?
Of course I care about local industry. My own in particular. Look, I am in business to have fun and make money. I don't see why I should have to apologize for that.
And you have made money.
Of course I've made money. I've worked bloody hard for it.
Corny, I want shots of shop windows. It is blank model faces.
Thank you.
I was talking about plaster ones. Jim, employment bureaus.
Say again?
Employment bureaus. Unemployed men.
Watch out for Kate Saxon. She's a killer. I ought to know. I'd do it for her.
Oh? I hadn't noticed.
This was the wrong assignment for me. I got to like you.
Do you have to hate someone to do a good story?
If you work for Kate, you do. Did she get it out of you?
What?
Where you started?
No. The East End of London, love. Not very nice. Not Saxon Wells territory at all.
That was real, wasn't it?
What was real?
Don't underestimate her, Saxon.
Why is it that no one thinks I can take care of myself, Paula?
It's the mother in us.
Well, stop bringing me the chicken soup. I fought that Amazon to a standstill and my jugular vein is still where it ought to be.
You haven't seen the final film yet.
Lesson 1, Paula. There's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yes, there is. Kate Mackenzie just invented it.
What's she going to do with all this new material? Shops, unemployment lines?
Lit up a good show. Kate's always do.
She's gunning for him, isn't she?
That's her style. If you don't want to get gunned for, you don't agree to do a show with her.
Well, then why do people agree?
Everyone thinks I'm different. Everyone thinks I'm the exception. She won't be able to touch me.
That's what Saxon thought. There are bullets she's using.
Corny, you want to be a good cameraman, then stay remote. You can't have attitudes. You shoot what's there. Look, how bright is he?
Very.
Then he knew what he was going into.
Women are consumers, and they're going to consume whether Catwalk exists or not. This is not some fiendish plot to get women interested in clothes, beauty, and cosmetics. They are already. We don't have to sell that to them.
You don't print your magazine in Australia.
No, we print in Hong Kong. So what?
You don't mind putting Australians out of work?
We are providing Australians with a better produced magazine at a lower price.
So you don't care about local industry?
Of course I care about local industry. My own in particular. Look, I am in business to have fun and make money. I don't see why I should have to apologize for that.
And you have made money.
Of course I've made money. I've worked bloody hard for it.
I'm quitting.
So am I, Kate.
What you did to Saxon last night was disgusting.
He didn't have that coming to him.
Now, did I misquote him?
You didn't have to. When it comes to women, he's a babe in arms.
I told you, Coney. You got to be detached if you want to be a professional.
A professional what? Saxon? Sorry.
Now, you just be careful what you do, Saxon. Because I want her back as a model. That is why you're here.
Well, I'm not quite sure whether we need her as a model anymore. I mean, I can go into Pitt Street. But I do know a good photographer. When I see one.
We'll see about that.
Well, now, aren't you glad I persuaded you
To
have a drink? You're a good loser. Loser? After all that good publicity. When a woman buys a fashion magazine, she buys luxury, she buys unreality, she buys a dream. Last night was the biggest commercial we've ever had. And don't tell Cornelia. Huh? Well, she only came back because she thought I'd been badly done by. She thinks I'm a fool about women.
And are you?
Cool.
Buy you a drink? I've just been stood up by a bird with principles. Corny.
Oh. Well, let's buy each other a drink. I just lost the rock for keeps.